Hello, hello. Yeah, welcome in, Tofu Dog. Hope you had a good stream. Let me give you a shout out. Hope you had a good stream. Let's do. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for reading in. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Nice. Hope it was a fun time. And yeah, hope you get some good rest. Yeah, we're gonna do some 3D modeling today. Well, we're gonna be doing texturing mainly today. So hopefully it'll be a good progress. And yeah, we can just jump over to the art scene. Let me adjust the audio a little bit. Let's, yeah, so yeah, hopefully it'll be a good time. Let's head over to art. Well, thanks for that blanket. How you doing, Saw? Yeah, so it'll be, I think, similar to last time where I use substance. Oh, and fishing. Oh, is the fish going to pop up? Hold on. But yeah, I do wonder why fishing is not always working. Let me restart it. And I'll refund you. Yeah, I did that once last time too. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I'll refund. Then I'll do an overview of kind of what's been going on with this model. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, have a good one. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot more improvement on the fur, and it's going to be more rendered with cycles, which is this render engine. But yeah, there's a lot of work to be done on the fur. There's going to be a few different layers of fur as well to make it kind of fit properly. And there's going to be texturing, of course. There's going to be variation in the fur colors and whatnot. And this should all come together to make it more convincing. And I'm going to be adjusting the material and whatnot as well. And the consistency and all that. And, but yeah, today we're mainly going to be working on everything else for texturing, I think. So you can see what the model looks like here. You can also see that I set up the armature. I haven't actually rigged it yet because I want to do that after I do all the texture work in the fur, because I might need to add a little bit of geometry here and there to make sure the fur is working as best as possible. Yeah, so we can put this into its own collection. We're going to call it armature. We can hide that for today. And then we also have our utilities. Can hide that. Whoops. Let's actually separate the lights and everything else. So we can move these into their own collection called lights. So now utilities can be hidden. And then we can take our lights, and then we can make them not selectable but still be visible. It would be nice if there was this option to make it so I could just yeah, make it technically visible, but not have to see the overlays. I mean, I can kind of probably do it over here. Yeah, extras, but extras hides all extras, so I kind of wish there was more fine tuning in that regard, but well. So yeah, the plan. I'm actually just hide all the lights, and we'll just change our strength on environment a bit for today. Maybe we'll make it default as well. Like a default studio light. Then we kind of rotate it to, it's a bit extreme, which I don't like as much. Maybe have something a bit more. You know, we could probably tone this down. So we don't do like a lot in terms of shadows when we're doing texturing. Yeah, so we're going to do texturing today. So I'm going to just start with substance and see how it goes. Kind of yeah, default substance materials, then we'll build off from there. Because we will be kind of making like a variation on it as well. So I can have stitching. I might even have a substance thing for stitching, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Today will be going to be like a lot of feeling things out in a way. One of the nice things I found is with substance materials, I do have kind of a cache that will have the generated textures. So if I find I can't do everything I need in Blender, then I can take it over to Substance Painter and like another stream with everything set up to, you know, do like Substance Painter centric things. Like I could use ribbon tools to do stitching, and I may end up going that direction, but we'll see. So for starters, we'll do like the beanie first. So if we go into Substance, we can load, and then I can see if hopefully I labeled things correctly, but I might not have. I might just be using the default from when they were created by different people. Because I don't want to, let us see. So it's not this one. Luckily, we can get a little preview before we apply it anywhere. But I do know it can get a bit, what you call it, laggy if you have too many. So that's one fabric. Oh, it might be this. Let's see. Ta-da. That I'm looking for. It might be a bit more intensive. Yeah, it's definitely more intensive. Let's get rid of color. We want it just be black. Like black and gray are the kind of the two colors we're going with. And then, oh, there's apparently a text speed, so you can animate this if you wanted. For this font size, let's make it 0. Let's see, your custom image. We'll just do false for that. And we can apply. Okay, so the colors aren't exactly what I want. But that is like the kind of material that I want. But some of these parts might be yeah, just not functional with the Blender substance tool. I also realize I think I need to make it polar for the UV unwrap. So I come in here. Hey Darko, how's it going? Yeah, how would I want to make this work? Be polar. I can worry about the UV unwrapping later. I just want to get the material down. So I can try a different one that I might have. Oh, this might be better. Oh, I see. It's also still trying to render the sweaters updates. So maybe I was just working too fast. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I woke up today with a really bad migraine, unfortunately. But it with enough medicine and rest, I feel like it went away, which is good. Well, let's refresh this maybe. Actually, let's delete that, and then we can start over here. But yeah, feeling a bit better. So yeah, just basically woke up, you know, took medicine, ate, showered, all that kind of stuff, rested up. But yeah, I think it's basically gone. You know, brain's still a little tingly in a way, but so probably not. It won't be like the longest of streams tonight because you know I want to get sleep so I don't wake up with another headache. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to load the scarf one. Maybe I need to save, and then So this is one of the reasons why maybe using Substance instead might be the way to go, just because the Substance Blender plugin can be a bit iffy. Oh, Baker Laddie, well, thanks for the resub. I appreciate it. You can continue joining, enjoying your emotes, hanging out a bit before sleeping. Hope you get some good rest. Can get comfy. Let's see if it'll. There we go. So now we can select this, apply. Then we can change. We can do like a tiling of 2. Change its resolution. Yeah, so I think this is the material that we want. We can darken this. Oh, it is very slow. We can try adjusting our roughness here. We'll probably want to increase our normal intensity. Okay, we want the roughness where it was basically. We do want normal intensity a bit higher. Okay, so there we go. It's a bit better. We can adjust weight range just a tad. See if that makes it pop more. You'll need to work on that a bit more. Yeah, we will make this kind of go into the pull of the hat here. And then here we can rotate this because we know this is kind of the... Oh, this is interesting. I wonder why it... Oh, it's because... Hold on. I think I need to... I'll just set it to this because it seems like if I rotate it when it's not a square, it does weird things. There we go. So that feels more like what we want. We might want to change this to 4K to see just how crisp we can get it. It's still very... Yeah, it should be like more like that. do, I gotta get the lighting stronger so I can see what's actually going on. Yeah, so we'll get the sizing of these better when we get the radial kind of UV unwrap going. So we can actually look into this. If I do that, that might be enough. I mark a seam here. So I don't really need to worry too much about the inside. I mean, I could do the inside though. And we can see how this works. Did I not go far enough? I should have. Did I go far enough here though? Is that the issue? Yeah. Mark seam. Unwrap. So kind of the idea I think is we want to take this edge, scale it up. Okay, so that's the inside. We'll see how we can get things going here. Yeah, so that's not ideal. So I'm trying to think. Is this a situation where I need to kind of... Oh, hey Regan, how's it going? You're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah, just kind of got over a migraine. Ready to get some work done on this. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the best way to make this radial. Yeah, so that... And so we kind of want this... So we want this all to come at a point. So normally you'd want this to be kind of a situation where it ends up being like a square shape with a singular point being shared at the top. So I think that might be the issue. Yeah, so I think we want to redo this UV map. So we don't want to have a seam actually. So we can clear our seam. So we just need to think. So we do want this to be like the point that's shared. Let's see. Or it could be something as simple as maybe as even just doing a marking a seam here. UV unwrap. And that actually does feel more natural to like how some hats look. Yeah, I think I might prefer that. And then we could always do something like that. But yeah, that's basically how things are going. Just working on this. I've created the armature, which is good. So yeah, right now I'm just set this back down to a lower resolution for now. Just so that it doesn't, you know, mess with saving times or loading times too much. But yeah, we're just doing some texturing today. So let's see, do I have a leather material? I have a hair gradient, which is a useful one. Let's see what other fabrics I have. That's one we already looked at. I don't think I ever looked for a oh, that didn't even load. Okay, that was interesting. Let's see, what do these say? Oh yeah, so some of these can't be loaded, I guess. That's fine. Yeah, let's see, what a fairly smooth leather. It's almost it is very pleathery. So, let's see about this. Okay, we can try, see if this next one works. It cannot be loaded. So normally they do load. So let's try saving. We'll close this. and reload it and try again. If it doesn't work, then yeah, we're going to be going into Substance Painter later, and we'll just kind of work on what we can until then. Because I would need to finalize some more stuff. Yep, there we go. So now that loads. That's good. We need this to... We have a bit more tiling. Let's try 4. Oh, we do want a higher resolution. Probably just double. We want it to be less rough, I think. We want the color to be less brown. There we go. Let's try reducing the roughness. We can increase the normal intensity a little bit. Let's reduce roughness a little bit more. It's going to take a while for it to update. I need to remember with this, I do need to kind of slow down a bit for it to catch up. Sometimes it can get kind of stuck, which can be an issue sometimes where the file can kind of get corrupted in a way and they got to do some workarounds. Oops. So, oh yeah, this is my bad. This isn't part of the hat. This is actually the strap for this. So let's remove this from that. Still rendering. Maybe refreshing it will help it along. Oh, it undid all my maybe if we go slow this time, it'll not break. Hey Cider, how's it going? Maybe I'll just try saving this as a new file. And then I'll try just reloading it maybe. Yes, we'll close. But if it keeps going this slow, then yeah, I'll start doing stuff in Painter. Might even try putting things into Painter today. I guess the main thing is I don't have like a high and low poly on this. Okay, so it does look like it updated, so that's good. And then we still want to reduce the roughness, increase the crack depth a bit. There we go. It's probably a bit too low on the roughness. So let's just put it a little bit higher. Let's see if it'll actually update these. Yeah, it's going good. Yeah, like started today off with a bit of a migraine, but pretty much gone away. So yeah, now I can focus on getting some work done. Looks like this got hung up a bit again, so we can close. We'll just reboot. Hopefully the other materials won't have the same issues. I probably should have just been working on this in the same version of Blender and Substance that I used for the last model I did, but yeah, so that'll work for now. This kind of works because at least it'll tell me which materials I'm going to want to use when I get into Substance. See, this is like a painted metallic plastic. So let's see. Maybe if I find see if there's a good material for it. I know there's like a painted plastic material in my stuff somewhere. But yeah, I mean, today's been going overall, you know, fairly decent. Other than the migraine, like, you know, we're just getting some stuff done here. And I've been trying to kind of plan for more things in the future. So hopefully those go well. I think after this model is done. Oh, and then I guess the other thing is I have YCH is open. I probably should make a little pin for that. Why is it so hard for me to just go to my store? One moment. But yeah, we'll put this there, and we can pin the comment. And there we go. But yeah, so I do have, actually, let me get the video. I'll just put that up there for a bit. I'm going to make it bigger for now, actually. Yeah, so you can see it. Yeah, so this is your character here kind of commission. It's similar to like the blur bows I did. Yeah, so that's available on my VGen for $30. So I just keep that there for now. And the idea is it's a reactive. So there's like just like a normal idle animation, there's a talking one. So if you have like Oogie Tech Premium, like the paid version, or if you have was it video tube. And then you could do like a little animated reactive that's kind of thinks or Valentine's Day themed. Let's see. I think I should have painted metal. I have a fabric leather here. Maybe I should see how that works. And then I could always add maybe a little bit of a displace. Maybe I'll do that now, actually. I think I can do that because I've got my subsurf. I can add a new one. Let's save because things can go wrong with displace. Displace. Yeah. And then we want, we'll make a new texture and we will make it let's do clouds. We want a local. Yes, we just got a little bit of the imperfections there, which is nice. We can come in here and we can fine tune it though. We don't want it that. Kind of just a little subtle, a little soft. Yeah, so when you look, I might want to adjust the scale on the material a little bit. I think 4 seems to be the sweet spot. Maybe a little bit more. That's like a 3. Yeah, 3 I think is good. Yeah, I might need to see about making another mask to get like a slight variations in the roughness to kind of get like finger oils that would probably get on it while, it'd be moving and stuff. But overall, it's not a bad start. Okay, then I think we have a painted metallic. Yeah, painted metal, but that's not exactly what we want. We want plastic that's painted. Now we might be able to actually do a painted model, but we might be able to make it metallic in the settings. No, that's not it. So you have grunge. This would be like spray painted, not yeah, maybe let's try to do painted metal. Yeah, we UV unwrap this, right? Oh, we did not. I thought we did. That's no biggie. We can just mark our inner seams. Oh yeah, we need to read or solidify. There we go. So This is the kind of the opposite we want, where we have metal that's painted, where we kind of want kind of these to be swapped if possible. So we really just want to go with one of these, maybe like metal brushed. We want to be very, what does it feel like I keep losing? Like, why am I not seeing my UVs over here? If I select a different model that I know is UV unwrapped, yeah, it's still not showing. That's odd. Oh, is it because, I see. Because this is our reference, not our... I need to go and find UV editing viewport. Oh, so that was, the brush is actually, textures are part of it, so it was probably the right one before. Let's try metal foil. Okay. We definitely need to readjust the scale. I mean, that is foil. We don't need foil, so let's undo that. Aluminum. We reduce the displacement. This might work. Might. Like it has the kind of the plasticky look we're going for. But there is no control for the color. Like here's metal painted. But that's effectively well that's kind of what we want actually. So if we make it but that's not like if it definitely feels more plasticky dielectric than I want. And that might work, just the default metal. There's really like no fun details necessarily. I mean, it does have like some stuff going for it, but this does need it kind of works. We'll go with that for now. Yeah, I definitely need to mess with this a bit more though for getting some like masking here, frame inclusion. So that's something I might do in Substance Painter as well. Then I can get like a little bit of like edgeware maybe. Yeah, so if there's one thing I kind of learned from, and then yeah, we have some stitching that's going to be here. So I'll need to work on that. So this is going to use the same material as this. But we are going to have, we're going to have to do some stitching. And we'll probably want to add a particle system on here to add a little bit of kind of fluff to this, the hat. And I could probably use woolly. So we want, I would need to see if I can redo it with the texture of the yeah, let's change material. If we go to substance, we can see it's scarf wool. And then if we go to our hair, or our modifier rather, change this to scarf wool. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. So if I go to cycles, it will want to come in here. We can increase the scale a little bit. Yeah, maybe you would need to use actual like geometry for that. Maybe have to see if they have a preset on woolly. Oh, they do a fuzz, so that might have been a better option. But I mean, felt should be pretty good. I might just need to do a displacement using the texture, and that might give it more of the pop it needs. Let's change the density, I think. Increase global scale maybe. Might help. Yeah, so I'll work on the system here a bit more. The density to be quite high. Want more frizz. Want the base hair kind of shorter. You want a higher curl frequency, I think. Yeah, if we put our lights on. Okay, we definitely have a warm light somewhere. It's got the feeling, but it's definitely doesn't have the detail that we want. It's very needle felt. So yeah, we'll probably just want to do it via texture, so we can get rid of this. Let's go to this material. Sometimes, you know, we want displacement. So if we take our normal map, make a bump. We can maybe we'll no, we definitely need more. Let's see, do we have anything that kind of acts as a bump? Normal metallic, base color, roughness. We can maybe see about using base color as the height. It's interesting that it had all these highlights when we didn't before. Interesting how the displacement doesn't seem to be overly strong. I guess there's something else I can do in Substance Painter, because I can create actual displacement maps. And I think there might even be displacement in one of the settings down here somewhere. But But yeah, I do like the leather material we have so far. I think we'll probably use a similar material for these guys. We'll definitely need to add some blemishes though. Am I missing a piece here? Oh no, it's integrated into the... Actually, no, there is this piece missing. It's supposed to be a bit of a shape. So it's either hiding in the body or I need to... Oh, never mind, it's right here. False alarm. Okay. Yeah, for now we'll disconnect this displacement because it doesn't seem to do anything. We want our goggle lens. Let's try... Yeah, glass old looked kind of nice. See, can I... Yeah, so let's see. Let's try 0.25. Yeah, I think I like that. Gonna fall off. We can increase our subsurf. Okay, I think that's good. Then we do have the jacket. Now, last time I did the jacket, I did it in a corduroy. And Mr. Fox also, I think, has corduroy, so that might be good. So I believe I can make that using my textile generator. Is this the correct version to run in? Yes, it is. Okay, preset. I didn't realize this had oh, maybe I'll try messing with that later. As a knit wool. Well, is this going to do that thing where it doesn't update? But I can always refresh it. Okay, so let's apply that. And then we will mess around with it. Yeah, I'll need to, do I have not, I don't have my solidify applied, so I'll need to do that for the final. But let's, and so I wanted tweed, this would be the way to go. But I know that, you know, one of these, thread density, oh, you don't want, you don't want, see, is it twill that we want? It might be. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. Let's see. It's kind of like what we want, actually. I want to adjust some of them at settings, though. You know, I think it's kind of a satin is what you want for what's a rose sateen? Nope, that's not it. That's not it at all. Green silk satin might be closer to what we want, but no, it's not. So we can go back to this, or which one was it? There, so we have polyester. So we want to change, we want frizz, definitely. Was it the end of that? It was. Let's go to our next playlist. We do want gaps, I believe. And then we'll save this and we can kind of restart. Maybe we'll try. Yeah, let's go into UV edit. See, can I gridify this? Can I gridify it? Probably not. Probably can't gridify this, no. But I can straighten it a bit. do need to get the some more of those UV unwrapping tools installed, and I need to learn how to use them to make this a bit of an easier process. So I know there's like some more advanced straightening tools. Let's change this to the lasso. And we'll clean this up a bit later, but yeah, we definitely need some randomization on the type. Hey, York, how's it going? Oh, nice. Welcome in. We're also chilling. Just getting some work done here. So I should probably, yeah, redo. I'll probably want to undo the mirroring so I can get this back as one one big piece. I'll just try this for now. We'll restart Blender. I do need to work on some of this because it feels like, if I had to guess, it's probably trying to work with DirectX normals. So I think the green channel may be flipped on this. Wonder why. There we go. But we can try this. So let's see. If I take this, we have a normal map. We do a RGB. There should be a split, or yeah. Let's see. There might be a converter. Separate color. RGB, red, green, blue. And then we want to combine color. Red is red. Blue is blue. Green, we want to invert. Then we can see if that's the issue we're having. No, that's not the issue we're having. I know there's been a bit of a bug with normals in a while in Blender, and I guess it got fixed in what you call it, in Blender 5.0, but I am on 4.5. Oh, I realize I'm chugging. Hold on. That was weird. Sorry about that. Yeah, I gotta get through. We want this to be like 42. Let's change fabric. Let's see, what is this? Use custom weave map? Nope. I think we want to keep the fabric type to, and try knit. Nope. You want woven. We can try, we want a satin, I think. Oh, you want, or is it as a lower, I think? We want, okay, we want satin, I think. Oh, it's checking. Okay, for the warp, it says it has updated. I don't think I saw a change. Okay, so that's that. Give me one caps. Okay, so it's the warp that we don't want. There we go. So we got rid of that so we can have the kind of corduroy. So now I just need to adjust this. I mean, I'll definitely fix this, but kind of like that from the front for figuring out this part. So the weft is what we're looking for. We want the core, I think. We want the frizz, 100%. Yeah, we definitely need the spacing. So we do want to get a clear background color. I'll increase this color just to make it clear. And then we want the weft gaps to be as much as we can. Less random though. Or maybe we want a density on the weft. We want the frizz. And then we want a apply count of 2. Okay, I think we want a fairly high apply count actually. Yeah, that's better. I don't think we want the randomness actually here. We want it pretty even. Like we're almost there. I just need to get the spacing on this be fairly consistent. And let's make sure these are all visible. Let's get rid of all randomness, I think. Or for now, at least. I'm starting to think that this might not be updating. So we'll save and then we will restart. One thing that's kind of funny is I'm pretty sure this material I'm using, I don't think it actually works in Substance Painter. Maybe it's changed, but it's because this is using Substance. Sorry, a bit laggy. Because it's using Substance Viewer instead. We don't have the issue of like the limits on this. Because normally what you have to do is you have to go into the Substance Viewer, do your, like figure out the texture you want, then you'd bake it into textures to use elsewhere. But yeah, I'm wondering why, because this is definitely inside the material itself. You can see the warping in here. And it's in the weft for sure. Yours applies warp. So that doesn't... I'm not sure. We have randomness off on everything. Oh, here we go. Normal format. Discoloration is fine. You'll need to see what's causing this waviness. If this were at a higher scale, it'd be fine. But since we're not, this is gonna, it's trying to render. I'm still trying. Let's see how it looks at much bigger density. Still working on it. And this will of course be fixed once I get the what you call it applied. Yeah, solidify modifier. Because basically I'll have a material for the collar and it's gonna have the same material as like the inside of the jacket. Actually, what am I doing? I realized. There might even just be material already for it. Oh, if you do want to mix it up, we could go with a different kind of weave. That'd be fun though, actually. And there's a knit that I got before. So let's see if this works. So we will... Then we can go into our UVs. Yeah, so that was probably the easiest way to do it, is just see if someone's already made corduroy. One of the benefits of going with a realistic style, of course, is, you know, finding stuff that you need. Oh, there we go. That's it. No, so we want... Whoops. Yeah, that's close to what we want. And we could probably use, if it generates... Yeah, I'll see if this works in Substance as well, because if I can generate a displacement map, then that'd be like a height map. And I could technically probably use that to mask off doing a fur, like a fuzz texture. I'll have to see if I can do that though, because I know I can do it with vertex groups, but I'll have to see if I can do it with the texture. I should be able to, but if not, I can always see if I can, when I'm in Substance, see if I can go past 4K for the resolution maybe. We can maybe adjust the contrast a little bit. But I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. And then I'm debating whether I would want to do the inside of the jacket as corduroy as well. Oh, hey, Jeremy, how's it going? I'm just working on the Foxander model. So yeah, right now I've been working on the jacket. Kind of like a preliminary version of the metal, but I'm gonna, you know, improve it a bit. I also can notice their denoising is on, which I don't like. That's actually weird. Denoise is off on everything, so what is going on? Because normally you don't get this kind of weird blobbiness on metals. Unless you have denoising on. Oh, is fishing still not working? Yeah, I'm wondering what's going on with the fishing. Oh, I guess Twitch must have updated. My bad here. I'm gonna yeah, hold on, let me refund. Okay, there you go. Now you should be able to have a go at it. You'll need to see about what's going on here. Oh, you know, I think I know what I need. Actually, I don't, because I realize I'm on cycles, not Eevee here. Oh well, I'll figure it out. Let's see what you get. Ooh, a skateboard. That's pretty cool. And I do think I want like a satin material for the buttons. Or maybe I can use the same material here, just slightly different. Yeah, I want a bike. You're just traveling all over the place today. There we go. I think that's good. So it looks like this probably needs to go darker. Or lighter. Trying to see which colors are where. Okay, so it is in the only the darker parts. So I make this white again. Yeah, it's interesting. Put it back down. Yeah. It'd be fun to make a little hear me Cupid or your OC, whichever you want. And if you ever need help setting it up as like a little reactive, I can always help out with that. And wait for this to update. I think everything else in here is, maybe I can do AO intensity more. Make it pop. But other than that, I think this material itself is good to go. Did it get stuck? May have. There we go. Yeah, I think that's good. I just need to see if I need to... Actually, I think I'll bring that up a little bit. And then I think we'll see if maybe we can do like a gray shirt. And this can apply to the other shirt as well. We'll kind of see how it goes. But yeah, this is when we're going to use a textile for sure. Yeah, corduroy. It's basically like it's named that because it's like the big like fluffy cords. It was kind of like a satiny kind of a material. It's honestly one of my favorite materials. I actually have some like very baggy like pajama pants that are, it's called wide wale, like WALE pants. So they're very chunky cords. And yeah, the fur is definitely going to improve. This is always going to like rendering wise, it's going to look more like this. So it's, you know, a bit more realistic, but I'm also going to do some texturing to kind of add a bit more depth to the face. And then, you know, it's going to have a few different fur shaders going, or not fur shaders, but fur particle systems. So I can get it, you know, closer to the final result, which is more like this kind of fur, long, wispy, softer looking, you know. Right now it's fairly short. It's 2 systems right now. There's like a very short fur, which I'm going to try to kind of imitate for like the nose. And then I've got like a kind of longer one, but I haven't dialed it in. So it's a little bit crunchy, a little bit clumpy. But yeah, so I'll be taking extra care to, you know, like doing the fur grooming. And yeah, I'll probably like do a little bit extra in the ears to get kind of this extra floof. And there's gonna be like just additional volume all around. Oh yeah, right here. So we want to apply. Oh, I see. We are still hung up, so we will restart Blender. I do appreciate that it sets it to the viewport shading by default. Because then you know if you are less likely to get caught in like a sort of boot loop. Yeah, let's delete that. And then we'll bring it back. And then we can apply. And then from here, I think, let's see, what do we want? Natural plain wool might be good. And then we will want to increase its resolution. And we're going to want to scale this probably, let's try 8. And then let's get our, yeah, this is like our material here. So we don't want natural plain wool. We can try, probably not multi-tone. No. Maybe natural linen. It's closer. Let's see. Let's do like a plain base maybe. Yeah, there we go. So we don't want it to be as warm of a color. Granted, some of that's probably just because of our lighting. But we can adjust it a little bit here. Wait for it to update. We can, but then we want to scale a bit more. Yeah, I think that's good. We do want some bumpiness. I don't think it's actually updating, so we will, once again, reload. Oh, I guess it did. It was very dark. Okay, so now we can try darkening a little bit. And this is the one where we need to apply our solidify so we can make it work better. I think we want to blur our fibers. Here in blur. Let's go to our discolor. We can soften it a little bit by increasing our background color just a tad. We do want wrinkles. We want to increase the length and the width. Quite a bit, actually. Yes, we may need to adjust our resolution. And then we'll fix up our UV unwraps so that, like it fully aligns the edges here. And then we can yeah, see about going into Substance and I feel like we need to, and then yeah, the stitching. I think we reduce a core size. That tends to soften things a little, but it's definitely working. It's just that was the end of that playlist. So let's apply our, we've already applied our mirror here. This might, no, not exactly. So it's mainly these we want to straighten auto. Oh, hey, Lulu Live, is that? Welcome in. Oh, Panda Raid. Nice. Let me give you a shout out. How you doing? Oh, doing art. Nice. If you have any art you'd like to share, I always like seeing some seeing art text, but no pressure. And yeah, welcome in. I know that streams are tiring, so if you do need to get up, eat, sleep, stretch, anything like that, health always comes first. Oh, and sorry, sometimes I'm chugging a bit because of 3D on screen. And yeah, for those who don't know me, I'm Brad Botnick, and I do late night art streams. And yeah, tonight I am working on texturing for this commission where I'm doing a stop motion reactive of a Foxander in the style of Fantastic Mr. Fox. So you can kind of see the references I'm working on with the concepts that Foxander provided. Oh, sorry, it's being blocked a bit. I'm working on some texture painting today. Oh, nice. Yeah, no problem. So do you do 3D art as well then? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm happy with how it's turning out so far. Still have a bit of work to do, but you can kind of see once I switch it to the cycles, kind of how it's coming along. So I do need to do a lot of grooming work on the fur, but I'm hoping once I get it kind of more where I want, then I can like do fine tuning of the material for the fur and whatnot. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of doing some of the fabric work right now. I'm probably going to redo a lot of the texture work here in Substance Painter because I am using a lot of Substance Smart Materials in here using the Blender plugin. But I'll be able to kind of do final textures that are more how I want with Substance Painter by doing like stitching and whatnot. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this is a similar workflow to what I used when I did the first Foxander commission I did. And I can show you. making tweaks to my 3D VTuber. Oh, nice. Let me get a follow going. Yeah, definitely want to see how that progresses. Yeah, thank you. Let me yeah, here we go. This is the Foxander model I made previously, which is this is of course a 3D model showcase, but what I provided Foxander was animated like APNGs for basically like a PNG tuber reactive. So there's like a blink animation, there's like for idols, and there's like the normal idol, and then there's the talk animations. And this was for Foxander to have a Little Big Planet style model. Yeah, I was really happy with the little finger smudges on the glasses. Unfortunately, with since it is like a PNG tuber, it's something you won't see too much like on the final result, but that's one of the reasons why it's fun doing showcases. Yeah, Foxander like does really fun streams. Great art as well. It's kind of crazy to think that I think all the art he does is on an iPad. Both for like the animation and the artwork. Maybe I'll get a more mellow music going. But yeah, so I'm happy to do this one. It's fun to try to emulate like realistic materials, and the animation style I'm gonna try to also do like a realistic style. So that'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, so I think I've pretty much got this where I want it. I'm gonna do some adjustments on the UV unwraps and kind of soften this texture a bit, I think. I might be able to just do a little bit of a small bit of subsurface maybe on it, and that might get kind of what I want with it. Yeah, so this is the sandwich is actually a donut. I think it's the best donut I've ever had so far. So that is a chocolate donut without a hole in the middle, like the kind that they would put like would fill with cream. But then they cut it in half, so it's effectively a bun. And then they have like a chantilly cream in there, and then fresh strawberries. So there's like no syrup on the strawberries. And so it was very fresh and very, very nice. I got to get it again sometime. Unfortunately, I'm normally not awake during when they make the donuts, which is in the morning. But yeah, before I ate it, I had to make sure I 3D scanned it because I have a friend named Sketch Eddie. And at some point they decided to start 3D scanning donuts. So anytime I get a donut, I feel like I need to 3D scan it. So this one I just 3D scanned using basically just did images with my phone, and then just uploaded it to a website. I forgot which website, but I'm sure I have a bookmark somewhere. But normally I use my iPad. There's an app called 3D Scanner app or something like that, where you get a certain amount of free credits every month, and then you basically do the same thing where you just take pictures from a bunch of angles. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thanks again for the raid, and hope you get some good rest. Yeah, definitely look forward to checking out your streams on your 3D model progress. Yeah. Let's see. On this, what I'm going to do next. I could always do the pants, because that should be fairly easy. Yeah, so this is kind of probably like a cotton tweed of some sort. I can duplicate. Then I can apply. I'm going to use a Maybe natural plane will work. Nope, that is carbon fiber. I'm pretty sure these got scrambled somehow. So let's delete this and then reload it. And I do apologize if things kind of freeze up a bit. You know how it can be with 3D at times. Okay, we could try synthetic. Well, that's a rug, so that's not what we want. We do want the tiling to be quite high, to be in line with everything. Oh, actually, I do like that, the look of that, but that is not what we're looking for the style. Polyester is more of a shirt thing than me. Like, this feels very wool to me. That's a bit too thin of a wool, I think. You try a denim, but it's probably going to be too thick looking. Why not knit wool? Yeah, thanks for the follow. Worn linen is probably going to be too thin looking. Well, it's actually not too bad. If we increase the tiling and then we align our UVs correctly, and let's try aligning our seams just a little. Yeah, not too big on that. Oh, I realize there's probably a bit of it's probably a bit tasking having two WebMs running at the same time. I mean, I run like 30 at the same time, so normally it's not too bad. Thanks for the follow. Oh, Ivy Comb, welcome in. How you doing? Oh, hey, Sana. How's it going? Let me give you a shout out. How you doing? Oh, bread. If I could do a thumbs up, I would. Oh, Cult of the Lamb. Hopefully it was a good time. Going to bed. Hope you have a lovely rest of your stream. Thank you. Oh, 2 a.m. Yeah, I think it's about almost 2 a.m. here as well. Oh, and normal sleep schedule. Yeah, that's a key. Yeah, definitely get some rest. Yeah, hope you had a good stream. And yeah. Thanks again for streaming. Oh yeah. Yeah, the VOD should be up. The music won't be there, but you could always, put on your own music if you want. Or having no music might make it easier to multi-stream or multi-watch VODs. But yeah, for those that don't know me, I'm Brett Botnick. And I normally do late night art streams, mainly 3D, which is what we're working on tonight. As you can see, I'm doing this model, which is a new model for another streamer, Foxander. And it's going to be a Fantastic Mr. Fox styled model. So you can see I have all my reference here with kind of the concept provided by Foxander. And I still need to do a lot of work on the fur, but you can get a general idea of how it's going to look. And I'll be doing animating as if it were stop motion. So we're getting close to kind of the vibe of Fantastic Mr. Fox. There's going to be a bit more I'm going to do. And and thanks again for all the follows, everyone. I really appreciate it. Also, lime flavored hash brown is an amazing username. Oh, thanks for the cheer. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I'm going to try to animate it as if it were stop motion. Some other plans I have is there's a plugin. Oh my goodness.
Very cool.
Thanks for the save. I feel like the oh yeah, we're chugging a little bit. Yeah, maybe I'll yeah, I'm doing YCHs by the way on VGen. It's pinned. So I'm gonna hide this just so things don't get too chug too much. But yeah, I'm getting delayed little announcement alarms. But that's all good. Okay. That should run a bit faster. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm at a point where the what I'm working on is a bit intensive. Oh, and let's see how the fishing goes. Yeah, I just saved. Thank you, thank you. And yeah, so the two things are I've got a plugin that will let me. Oh my god! Wow, that's a new one. Count Quackula. Congratulations. Oh, and hydrate. Thank you. I have some tea with a lemon slice in it. Yeah, so I have a plugin that will let me do blend shapes on the fur, because normally you just generate the fur and that's that. And another bike. You can open a bike shop now. And yeah, so I can keyframe the fur so I can see if I can do like a fur, like a boiling effect like you would have in stop motion. And yeah. Harper, welcome in. Let me give you a shout out. How was stream? I think you were playing Kirby today. I was lurking a little bit earlier. It's always fun seeing your low poly model as well. Doing retro, yeah, nice. Yeah, always uses the PSO sound for raids. Sometimes I do panic when I watch other people's streams, and they also use the PSO sounds. I'm like, oh no, am I streaming? Is there a raid? Almost got the mastery, nice. It's got 100% the treasures and Great Cave Offensive. Nice, nice. Yeah, hopefully it's not too difficult, because I know sometimes there's always like that one, achievement that can be tough. But yeah, it's a very active night tonight. Very exciting. But yeah, for those that don't know me coming in, though I'm sure people from Harper's raid probably do, because I'm always in Harper's chat, and sometimes we also do like the party games and stuff. But yeah, I'm Bird Botnik, and whoops, sorry, I'm realizing it lags when I save, but yeah, I do late night 3D art streams. There's one bit I have to do that is stupid, but everyone flat out cheats it, so I'm not going to talk. Okay. Yeah, if you can cheese it, definitely go for it. But yeah, I know that can be like that for some games. Yeah, just do what you need to. It makes me think of playing the old Halo and having to, when you try to beat it on the hardest difficulty, how like what was it, Halo 2? You would what was his name? The sergeant from him. But yeah, you would basically just like because he was invincible, you just like punch him into different rooms to clean him out. But yeah, welcome in. So yeah, we're doing the Foxander commission. So right now I'm doing some texturing. So we've already did kind of a base texture on the goggles. Yeah, Johnson. That's the one. Yes, he had yeah, push him into different rooms in order to safely go through. I think it was a legendary mode. Yes, we did the hood. We've done a bit of the goggles, but I do need to do a bit more detailing here. And there's going to be stitching that I'll do in Substance Painter later. We got like a base for the shirt. I need to change the colors and soften it a bit. And then the corduroy on the jacket. And I'll need to see if I'm going to do something similar for the collar bit. And then we got to do the buttons. And then, yeah, we're working on the pants a little bit. But yeah. Oh, and if anybody is interested, is this the one? Yeah, I'm going to do currently on VGen, and you can see it on the pinned. I got YCH reactives in a kind of a Valentine's Day Cupid style. So if you're curious about that, those are active, like up on VGen. I'll probably leave it open for like probably until maybe like Monday or Tuesday, and then after that I'll, you know, close it. Because, you know, I need to have time to make them before Valentine's Day. But yeah. Keep forgetting that it lags when I save now because of all the substance materials. But yeah, hope everyone's doing good. And that's what we're working on. I'm sure once I get this all into Substance Painter, to kind of do the final pass on textures, things will look significantly better. You know, because then I can add like the stitching and stuff. Like an example you can see here. There's like the stitching and whatnot on the shirt. And I could do that with geometry, but because it needs to animate, it's going to be easier if I put it into the texture itself. So I will need to have fairly high res textures on here, but that's how it goes sometimes. I mean, I could always see about doing like a texture strip. And I might mess around with like the ribbon editor kind of thing in Substance. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I might be able to do it that way. But I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. I need to. Yeah, this is kind of like the sort of like the renderer that I'll be using. But you know, I'm gonna be you know, combing the fur to be more in line with what's actually here. A bit softer, a bit longer fur and whatnot. I think it's coming out, and then I'm going to be animating in stop motion, or I'm going to be animating it in a stop motion style, which should kind of help make it more convincing, I guess is a good way to put it. And then be like fur on the hands, the arms rather, and then the fur on the legs. And there's two variations, and I still need to texture the other version. So like, oops, those stay. It is the vest. So this is going to be the other version, as you can see. So we're going to have like basically a short sleeve and a long sleeve version. I need to actually do this texture as well. That'll be fine. That's going to be like a silk tie material, I think. But yeah, I think like I'm not going to get the texturing done today, but I think we're getting a good start here. I think what I'll probably do next is actually texture the eye, because as you can see in here, he's got this kind of cross shape eye, iris rather. He also has like the white ring there, but I don't remember if that was something he wanted or not. But I can double check. You know, how the design looks. Yeah, there's not always a white ring, so but we can mess around with a few ideas. So yeah, we'll do, I believe this is all just, yeah. So we can, there's the lens cap. There we go. So, and we can see which material we're using. We can remove. Let's make sure this is on this material. And then from here, we can go into our material. We'll make a new texture. We can make it, this is gonna be like a final version. So let's make it 4K. This is gonna be iris. Oops, iris, not Irish. And we are going to make sure the alpha is set to 0 for the base. And we'll do that. And then we want to go into our shading, where we are going to, I believe, let's see, we can try doing a mix. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's, we'll mix these two. And then we'll make this actually be a darker color. And then what we can do is our factor will be our image. And then we can have it be iris. And we go back to texture paint. Then we can paint and see what happens here. Oh, we may need to UV unwrap this a bit more. And yeah, I need to make sure this, we need to undo our mirror modifier, or we need to apply our mirror modifier. And then we want, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I always love like trying different styles. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oops, I am using the wrong material or object. This is still the lens cap. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so that is a 3D scan. It was, I think, the best donut I've ever had. And yeah, so I have a friend, Sketch Eddie, and she 3D scans donuts. So and I've gotten to a point where I need to, you know, when I have a good donut, or just any donut really, because I don't know if it's good until I eat it, I'll 3D scan it. But this is really good. It was a chocolate donut, like the kind that you would like cream fill, but they cut it in half and then layer it with like chantilly cream and then fresh strawberries. I didn't really do any real touch-ups. The only touch-up I did was wear it like a, you know, I had it like on top of a like a very small glass to hold it up, and then I had to like, you know, do a little bit of cleanup on the bottom, you know, like where it touched it, to make it like, you know, just isolate it basically. But other than that, no, not really. Yeah, the 3D scanners have gotten a lot, like photo-based ones have gotten really good. You know, over time. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I see. So Yeah, so we want to duplicate this. Material 2. I will rename these eventually. There we go. Oh, and then I need to change material 2 shading. There we go. But yeah, 3D scanning is fun. I use my iPad normally, which has an app called 3D Scanner app. They can get you on the, they give you like, you know, little like monthly credits to use. But you can always, you know, use like there's websites that do it where you can just like take pictures with your phone. Manage paint. I see. Now I need to, so let's make a new material. Actually, let's do it over here. We'll do this. We'll just do a new one. Base color, we'll just make a checker. And then we can just come in here. And if we apply this, we can assign. And then we can adjust the scale. And then here we can go into our UVs. Oh, this material I need to go into shading. And we need to go into texture coordinate. Whoops. Chord. Make sure it's set to UV. Now if I go back here, okay, now we can go back to texture paint. And then we can whoops. We want there. Now we'll just do like kind of a rough. Yeah, I think everyone could 3D scan donuts. It'd be pretty great. Yeah, I may do more with this as well, maybe in Substance Painter, where I could see about trying to make it more painted, like look like it's like, you know, actual paint on the iris. Kind of like it more, yeah, because we wouldn't go too fine, I don't think. This is be very, you know, Wes Anderson like. If I was using UC paint, I could maybe just kind of make it like raised a little bit like paint here. But using an actual brush and Substance would probably be the more ideal way. I think I might need to round the edges a little bit more. And I'll clean, well, I'll save the texture and then clean it up more when I have more control. But I don't want to set up the like actual my workspace for the drawing tablet right now. But yeah, because I don't want the eyes to look too perfect, I don't think. I do want the inside to look, because I'm pretty sure they use a kind of like lens cap like I have here on top of them. Or they would probably use like a epoxy set over it, probably. But I do want to like make it feel painted. So it'll be easier to do. As long as I get like the sizing right in this texture, then I can go over it. I mean, I may even just, if I can't get the result I want, the last thing I could do is literally paint this on, like what was it, like a small piece of plastic. Because I'd probably just like use like a little bit of like acrylic paint or something. And that would, so then I could get the texture. And then if I just kind of shine a light around it, then I can get, you know, kind of a sampling of kind of the highs and lows on it, and then kind of Photoshop it all together to make a bump map. I should probably at some point get like a RGB kind of lights, because then you can use that actually to make like a normal map in a way, with like, or like with you know, camera filters and whatnot. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this so far, at least in terms of the sizing and everything. So I can save this as a texture. Now I could always kind of add a little bit of a fall off. I guess with the factor component. Yeah. That's okay if it's a little rough. Not very noticeable. This also reminds me I need to make sure I am not on sRGB. I need to be on probably AGX. So when I'm I think we're just gonna go. I'll work with them more later, but probably no look at the moment. But AGX I think is going to get like kind of a more proper light fall off. I do think the exposure time goes a bit higher, because that's going to affect the lighting. Because one of the big, and that I noticed that it kind of softens it a bit, which is good. Because I was actually looking at a website where one of the people that worked on the set, I think it was one of the videographers or something, was talking about how working with Wes Anderson on the movie, and how because they were working on such small models, and with the way they wanted to do like the lighting and everything, they basically had to push their ISO as kind of crazy as they could within the limits of the camera. So they do like a lot of kind of balancing, like doing the math on like where the camera's facing the models and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, because the other issue is the wide camera. Basically the FOV. So they wanted, like, Wes Anderson likes having things be very, very flat for like the camera. Let's see, do I see my camera? I don't. But you wouldn't have like the characters stick out like this. It would be, let's see, if I go over here, oops, there is an ad. My apologies. Let's see. So if I make a camera, our utilities is on, that's probably one of the issues. But if I make a new camera, and we're going to change this to 1920 by 1080, like a normal camera. Granted, they did wider screens, I think, for the shooting because they were using a anamorphic lens and whatnot. But they might do something along the lines of maybe like a 75 for like a standard shot, maybe even more. And let me go to the view and change the camera. Which camera is this? Camera 1. But yeah, so if I have it like this, then you can see like the shape of the face changes quite a bit compared to like a 50 millimeter, which is kind of like what you would call standard. So then you zoom it in to get kind of the same framing, and there's kind of like more depth. But if you have like a 100 millimeter, then it's very flat, which is something that Wes Anderson likes to use. And like the character is very like framed, not really at an angle. Wes Anderson doesn't normally do like fully like 3/4 as much, I don't think. It's very much 90-degree angles in a way. But so I'll have to kind of debate which kind of FOV I want, because it's going to be slightly different depending. Because even in the movie, Wes Anderson uses different models depending on how big they are on screen. Rather than just like zooming out, in a way. So this is kind of designed as like the close-up, based on the close-up models. So I just have to kind of figure out what they would probably use for the focal length. And that was the other thing that was kind of an issue with their cameras, is they needed to make sure they generally liked having the background in full focus, pretty much, or not. Like, one is they wanted it always very, very crisp for everything in the foreground. And then the background gets a little bit blurry, but not too much. Like you can see like here, the background is very, very crisp. And that's kind of one of the things that was like a big thing in the movie. So you need to make sure that your like full control of the depth of field. Not doesn't mean I don't have to worry about too much, because it's gonna be for streaming. But yeah. Yeah, I'll need to kind of fine tune the lens caps material as well. And let's see. So the vest. Oops. This is 2011. I would rename the generator, but I'm kind of afraid, because sometimes it breaks in catastrophic ways. Yes, there's some solidify. This has not been UV unwrapped. Yeah, definitely need to adjust the scale here. Oh, this is just kind of busted where it's not showing the correct material. Thanks for the follow. And yeah, so this probably will fix itself when I restart Blender. But yeah, I'll need to kind of work on, and then of course apply the solidify modifier so I don't get this artifacting on the edges. Enjoy the lurk. And there's gonna be a belt. Let me see. See, why can I not select these? Well, let's see how it's going for the fishing. Oh, there you go. Congratulations. You got your breadfish. How does it feel? How long was the search? And a trout. Nice. I wonder why it's not letting me select. I'm mysterious. Oh, that's interesting. So it's interesting that it's doubling up. I wonder if Twitch is just having issues or with oh, sorry. I keep like reactively pressing S and I forget that it, because of this, it makes it lag. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing the double fishing. Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll reset the app again. So do not fish while I'm reloading. Okay. And then I think I might be wrapping up soon, so let's stop raids for an hour. All right. Yeah, so but we are making progress here. But yeah, I'm definitely going to need to throw this into Substance after I... Like the nice thing about getting it kind of in here first is I can be like, okay, I need to make sure this artifacting isn't happening when I bring it into Substance. You make sure everything is kind of where it needs to be. I definitely need to fix this texture and, you know, do something a bit different. Yeah, basically to get it all prepped so when I can put it into Substance Painter, there's no issues and less back and forth. And yeah, that should make things better. And let's get the goggles off and then get the glasses on. Yeah, have a good one here, me. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so if I fill this, then I can separate by selection. And then if I inset, then I can then see about adding a glass. I don't know if I don't think I'll do the smudging because I don't think that's something that would be there. Wes Anderson movie necessarily. Let's see if it updates. See, do I need to add thickness to it maybe? I don't need the bevel. Can get rid of that. Yeah, let's see about adding thickness. Solidify. Let me just... Yeah, that seems like a good thickness. And let's see why the base color is not... Oh, it's because I'm... Okay, there we go. Not sure why it's still doing the blurring. I guess because it's a textured glass. But I figured it would be a different kind of let's try out 0.5. Maybe we'll make the bump. Yeah, because this is going to be a VTuber, so we don't want to have the glass all... Oh, you know what? I know what I need to do. I need to UV unwrap this. Okay, let's try putting this back, the bump. I'm showing that I said roughness was 0. But now we have it. Let's try this again. Okay, I see that one of the issues. We need... Yeah, then let's UV interrupt this again. Oh, I see. Because we have the thickness. So what I want to do is actually... grid fill. I really thought that would work. I guess there's an easy way to do it though. Let's let's make it easier to see. I'm just going to guesstimate. So now if I do this, and then I grid fill. Really? Oh, do I need to add another edge loop here? That doesn't make any sense though. Let's see. Oops. There we go. I guess that works. Okay, so this is, yeah, so it doesn't work because this is just a fully transparent, which means I would need to do a bunch of extra stuff to make it work. You can see how this goes. I like the texture on this, but of course, it's also another one where it does not do transparency on its own, so I'd have to blend it with something else to make it work. So I'll just go with the textured glass. Then I'll just have to blend it with, maybe, I don't know, yeah, I'm not gonna do the fingerprints. Oh, never mind, it's because I'm not in rendered mode. So, okay, nope. It is, let's try the other one that I liked though. Um, yeah, nope. Well, yeah, you can kind of see through it. Let me scale 5. Just want to see how this looks. Oh, that was the end of that music. Go with this for, I do like the smudginess of it, but I don't think I'm a fan of how blurry it gets. Yeah, let's see how small we go. Can, oops, we can lower the roughness to 0.5 maybe. Yeah, that's fairly clear. It is a little bit hard to tell with how slow it goes. Okay, yeah, I'm a fan of that. It kind of gives like a cellophane kind of look to it that I like. We can even lower the roughness a bit more. Maybe try 25. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Right. I think I might call it there for tonight. Let's hide the glasses, put the goggles on. But yeah, we're making good progress. Yeah, definitely gonna fix that up. I am happy with the jacket. You know, once we get like blend shapes for like the eyebrows moving up and down a little bit, and I think they had ones in their puppets for kind of the sides of the mouth to kind of move in and out. This should feel good in motion. Yeah, so let's see who we can raid over to. See what everyone is up to. We have a few good art streams going, it looks like. Someone's doing some nice background art. There's one that could be fun where they're animating in 3D. That would be quite a bit louder. And then we have someone doing some 2D art. Let's see one other thing real quick. Yep, okay. How about we go over to doing some more 3D and go over to Space Pirate Fenrir. So we will start the raid. But yeah, thanks again for stopping by. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a game stream with friends. Going to be playing Team Fortress 2. So it's been a while since I've done that. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, thanks again for hanging out. And yeah, going to do TF2 tomorrow and then more art streams, mainly working on this. And then maybe some of the VGen commissions, depending on how that goes. But yeah, thanks again for stopping in. And I'll see you later. Good night. Well, yeah, good night, Nianti. Good to see you. Bye-bye.